The first band to ever murder suicide.
Now they can hear us.
They can hear us right now.
I
Oh,
can't remember because I can't hear the song. I can't remember. I can only remember, like you have to actually watch the show in order to hear the song. And the sad part is,
right.
I love the song. I love.
It's a good song. It's a really nice song.
Okay, I gotta.
Oh man.
And we're live. That was a pretty good transition. That was a pretty
Oh
good.
my
I did a good
goodness.
job.
You're doing a great job. We're doing a fine job. This is the Brew with Brotherwife. I am Jeff. This is Tyler. We are a band that is also a game show.
Happens to be a podcast.
We're trying to bring a little bit of our life into your world.
Our juice. Into your mouth.
Into your mouth. I just hit it. Oh, sorry. I hit it really hard with the intro quickly.
So there's two things I want to say. One, I think I want to say that I'm Tyler. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Yeah, please.
I'm Jeff and I'm Tyler. Like I don't hate you saying that I'm Tyler.
Well, okay. So first, let me say something really quick. Typically, I introduce you first. Today, I had a mistake. There was a mistake that happened today. But typically, I introduce.
Is that why I feel weird about it today? Is that no?
I think that's.
That might be. I want to be important.
Listen, and then the other thing is, I just added the names maybe 5 episodes ago.
Okay,
we're building the plane as we land here, folks. It's early. We're actually 23 minutes late. We're so sorry about that. We're so sorry about that. Folks, comment below if you expect us at 9:30, because if you expect us at 9:30, I'm going to be double upset at us. But if you don't, then you just give us a little leeway. But
nobody really cares that much.
I wonder who cares. Maybe
at this point,
maybe people.
Costa,
yeah.
You out there? Costa cares.
Costa?
I feel like that's
Costa is one of our biggest supporters. I love Costa.
I feel like that's a non-profit organization. Costa Cares.
Yeah.
Or no, maybe like it could be like a program too, a government program. Costa Cares Act.
Right. They give produce to underdeveloped countries. They give rotten produce. It's only good for like 1 week, but they're like, yeah, we're giving them a lot of produce. They end up making it into a fucking liquor that they all get drunk and violent on.
Drunk and violent. That's where we're always trying to end up. We're always trying to end up at drunk and violent. Sometimes it takes 2 turns. Sometimes it takes 7 turns. Sometimes it takes 15 turns. But the universe always winds up putting us back to drunk and violent.
Yeah, that was you. You used to have you've come such a long way. You really have transformed into a different TT.
So I waxed and waned the other night. We had a company barbecue.
What does that mean? Waxed and waned.
I mean, I don't know if that's the right terminology.
Is that like waxed prophetic?
Yeah. Waxed. I waxed.
Okay. You waxed prophetic.
I waxed prophetic. So, wow, that is a bad message.
Oh, you got a bad business message? Okay, talk about trying to manage a business and also be in a band that's also happens to be a game show that happens to have a podcast. What is that like for you, TT? You have the spotlight on you. This is TT's interview. This is TT's corner. What is the biggest challenge?
This space right here
of being in the spotlight, literally and figuratively, but not being able to share too much because you don't want an HR nightmare.
I gotta sell the business so I can just be frank. That's where I'm at. No, honestly, do you want to know what it is? And it's not even just that. That's the thing. Like, if it was just those 2 things, and I didn't have a kid, or if it was just the kid, or if it was like 2 of the 4 things, I think it would be manageable. If it was 3 of the 4 things, it would be like stressful but handleable. But like with all 4, because of the commune too, it's literally it's unhinged. It's not. It's like I'm continually just like, I will hit that 75% mark maximum in everything. If I get 75%, that is an A for me. I'm bell curving myself. The hardest part about it is that when I'm succeeding really well in one, I'm dropping the ball in another. And so there's never any
It's hard to spin all the plates at once.
There's never any moments that are just wins. There's always moments that are wins and losses combined, and it's a little heartbreaking sometimes to just know
well, you have fuel by your success, but then your success creates more work, but then you diversify because you're like, I want to do this and this and this and this. So it's like you almost need to just get stay, and you're working towards this, but like get a stable of managers that you can trust, that you can just,
100%.
be your guides and your liaison to, success.
It's either that or like I'm going to be doing this podcast from an insane asylum in like 6 months. Those are my two options. Those are the two options.
This guy wants to start a fire restoration company. He's going hard on the carpet cleaning, hard surfaces and floors.
He's
going to do Shields Media Group.
When I feel like I do today, and you say this, every time you say that, I want to hit myself in the side of the head. Not a full-size sledgehammer, but like, one of the hand sledges. I just want to go pop.
Yeah. Tiny little mallet. Yeah, you want to get yourself. You want to make yourself look like that Elon Musk photo from last week.
Exactly.
Folks, if you don't know, Elon Musk, he had a big goiter.
I can't even
he was doing some weird
near...
big goiter. He looked, he looked like? He looked like Ed, Edd n Eddy with the Jawbreaker. That's what he looked like, Ed, Edd n Eddy with the Jawbreaker. That's gosh. Fucking. Okay. Look up our episode of Brew. Look up Elon Musk face. What's up?
Look up Elon Musk face. There's a guy that's making an adult version of Ed, Edd n Eddy.
Wait, really?
Ed, Edd n Eddy as like 27-year-olds.
What? Oh shit, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Wait, so
and they're like selling drugs and stuff.
It's gonna be an actual movie.
It's a show, but it's like a show that's gotten super popular on YouTube. He's only released one episode, and it's been in production for a long time, but everyone is like super hyped about it. I saw it and was like, that's really cool. That's a good move. Like, that was smart. This guy seriously, if he was like, I've got a season of it, $20, I would pay $20 to see adult Ed and Eddy sell drugs. 100%.
Okay, so it's animated.
It's animated, yeah. Yeah, and it's really cool cinematics, and it's really cool like music.
I think I've seen it right here.
Well, and I read like a breakdown on like the psychology of Ed, Edd n Eddy, and it was like, wow, they were touching on a lot of really deep, meaningful, sad, hard topics in Ed, Edd n Eddy, and I was just like,
wait, were they?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. First of all, I need to share my screen really quick because this is like weird anime Ed, Edd n Eddy. I do not like this version of Ed, Edd n Eddy as an adult. This is like I took bad acid and I'm hallucinating something from my childhood, and that it's Ed, Edd n Eddy mixed with like the movie Seven in anime form because I'm hallucinating on acid once again.
Okay.
This
Seven,
is
the beanbag.
Seven
movie?
with Brad Pitt.
Seven with Brad Pitt.
Yeah. Folks, look at this. Is this your Ed, Edd n Eddy that you want? Here. Look at this. This is like, I don't know. A lot of people like anime, not me. Not for me.
I mean, this is not really anime. I mean, this is very much a compromise between
that is not Eddie.
Wait, well, I mean, if you saw a picture of yourself today,
actually,
and you saw yourself, would you say that's not Jeff?
Okay. Sorry, that's Ed. That is Ed. Okay. Fuck, man.
Oh, he's
this kid.
More. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's really sad.
Okay,
it's a really
the thing is,
show.
one, where were all their parents? Two, it was an interesting. That was the show that like I got Stockholm syndrome on. Like I didn't like it. I remember the teaser for it. I was like, this is weird. I don't like the animation. The Jawbreaker is very strange. But then like I root force they me down, and I just ended up loving Ed, Edd n Eddy, and I ended up having a Jawbreakers must have taken such a huge fucking win in the year 2000. Like they must have really gone the distance.
Jawbreaker stocks rising. Do you remember candy stores?
Yes. That's like something that
still?
I don't think so, man. And if so, they're probably like
stores.
They're probably like weird candy stores where like there's also like a movement.
See,
You
because
like
it's
pick a
like the
peanut
thing
butter
is
cup
like
that represents which movement you want.
you think about like what we're experiencing today. We're experiencing like the death of retail, right? The death of brick and mortar retail. We're experiencing like, and so like you think about candy shops and you think about what grocery stores did, like like 100 years ago. I think like there were just candy shops. Like we're a shop that makes candy, and we're just candy shops.
Yeah.
But then you think about
Yeah.
like Safeway, Walmart, all of these like big box retailers. They kind of were like one step in the direction of Amazon. You know, they were. You are still
Ooh,
screen sharing.
sure, sure. That's a good point. I was about to get to the news, but yeah, no, that's a really interesting point. Like there was a tangible physical sort of Amazonation before it went into the digital realm. I kind of remember that with I moved to Stanwood when I was younger, and there was like a big movement to not have a Walmart there for
I
the exact
remember
reason.
they did same thing in
Yeah.
Kitsap when they were putting that Walmart in Paulsbo. Everyone was like, no, and they were right. I mean, they were right. And here's the sad thing: I shop at Walmart. You know, like and I still know it's wrong, but it's just too
Yeah.
damn cheap. And I mean, when you like 10 years ago, I feel like you had the choice. You could be like, you know what, I'm gonna take a vacation every other year instead of every year, and I'm gonna not shop at Walmart. Today, go talk to somebody who's making, a minimum wage or near it, working full time, and ask them if they can spend 10% more on their groceries. And their answer is a resounding absolutely not. I am getting covered in credit card debt just paying for my Walmart groceries. Like there's the inflation has just absolutely wrecked people's ability to be responsible consumers. There isn't. I'm sorry, hands are tied. If you're poor, you need to buy stuff from Walmart. Like that's just the fact of the matter today. It's just
Well,
crazy.
or I mean, that the real red pill is grocery outlet, bro. I mean, Walmart's not where you go.
Or
Grocery
Winco,
outlet's
or
really where you
Winco.
go. Or
I mean, you
Winco.
want to know the real red pill? The real red pill is grow your own potatoes and onions and just have potato soup all
No,
the time.
fuck that. That's not even the real red pill. The real red pill is go to fucking grocery outlet, get dessert hummus for 39 cents because it goes bad in 1 week, and have a weird week where you eat a bunch of dessert hummus. Or
What
go
is dessert
to
hummus?
it's something that didn't really work out very well for somebody, but they had a dream.
You're
Hey,
like,
folks, one of the things
listen,
we do on the Brew is we read horrific news.
we don't need to go into the
Yeah,
dessert hummus any deeper than this.
the dessert hummus. As I mentioned on the screen, I flashed it. I wanted to tell you, TT, all 9 teens who escaped from a Pennsylvania juvenile detention center have been captured. State police say. I want to
See,
say I did not receive the memo that 9 teens had escaped.
there you go. There you go. They
I,
don't. I
I,
love that.
I
I love that. That's what you do in business, though. That's what you do in politics and business. You go,
absolutely
so, not 7 days ago, 19s escaped. Today we
good
caught the nine.
news. You report your successes because hey, it is
Exactly.
a win. You caught them.
You caught him.
That's like white people being like, so we ended slavery. We figured it was like a pretty big deal to like just figure out to end it. And yeah, that's all that happened.
So
We ended
I
it.
feel like we're pretty cool. I feel like we're pretty good now. I
I
feel
feel
like
like
we're
we're
pretty
pretty
chill
cool.
now. And it's like,
Uh, all all 9 teenagers who escaped from a juvenile detention center in Morgantown, Pennsylvania, Sunday evening were captured Monday morning. That's a quick turnaround.
see, when I
Police said after
hear,
a multi.
I
Mhm.
just want them to get away. I'm sad when I hear this news. I'm like, I want to hear the memoir of this kid who
Well,
gets out for 7 years, and
sure. Yeah, I mean, I was hoping that I'm hoping against hope here. They at least have like 2 or 3 days. They leave. They Sunday evening, captured Monday morning. Monday morning could mean 1 in the morning.
yeah, yeah. It reminds me of my escape, when I ran away from home to go to the Baja Peninsula
Of
when I was
course.
15.
Well, that's kind of why I picked this because I was thinking we
Yeah,
could segue into that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, the teens ages 15 to 17 broke out of the Abraxas Academy Juvenile Detention Center by overpowering 2 prison employees and taking their keys. Okay, that's some good shit. Said David Boehm,
Whoa.
a
Oh,
spokesperson for
see,
the
the tough
Pennsylvania
part.
State Police Troop in reading. They
That's
were a
some
little
bad law
violent.
breaking though. That's some bad law breaking though. They're
That
going
well,
back to juvie for
that
some
is
extra time.
that is old timey though.
It
Rushing a
is.
fucking deputy and taking their keys.
Well, and as
I
a
mean,
deputy in a
that's
juvenile
come
place, you got
on.
to be like, look, I weigh as much as 2.5 of these kids, and they're like, so there's two of
Yeah,
them. They weigh as much as 2.5.
right,
9
right.
is more than 5. They're
You
worth
have
5
a whole
kids.
belt. You've got a Batman belt of maces and tasers and batons and a gun. What are you fucking doing?
I
Miss
mean,
these little bitches.
well, okay, so here's the thing.
Maybe he loved one of them. Maybe he was in love with one of them.
Oh,
Go ahead.
it started out
He's
with a kiss.
probably
It
in love
started
with
out
one
with
of
a
them.
kiss. How did it end up like this? 9 kids escaping
I
from.
said it was
No,
only
but I
a
mean,
kiss. It
you
was
can
only
only
a
tase. It was
kiss.
only a kiss. It was only a kiss. How do you tase 9 kids though? You got 2 guards. I figure like the thing is, if you're smart and you're the kids, you approach like, "Hey Jimmy, how's it going,
Oh,
Jimmy? Yeah,
cool.
we're gonna
Yeah.
go play some
Yo,
stuff."
hey,
And
had
then
a question about
shiv.
that sauces. Right,
You
right.
get shivved twice. You tase one of them. You get shivved 6 more times. You tase a second one. By the 8th shivving, I feel like you're starting to not feel so hot. You're kind of
No,
like
you're in a world of hurt.
8 shifts deep, you kind of feel like you've got COVID at this point. Then you
Mm-hmm.
go for the other tase, but you're weak, and they grab the taser from you. They get you with a taser, another 16 or 20 shivs, and you're like, I'm going to take a nap now. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to take a
I
nap. I
just
don't know if I'm going to wake up, but it's going to be a nice nap. I am very tired after this experience. Um,
Uh, yeah, it's gonna be bad. I like the describing shivs, 8 shivs deep as having COVID. That's the medicinal description.
the
It's like,
medicinal improvement.
yeah, so you're gonna experience some shortness of breath. Have you perchance been stabbed or shanked 8 times, shivved? Is that a possibility?
That's a
It might
new,
feel similar to
yeah.
that. So that's something that I related to patients because sometimes folks have that
When you go to
experience.
the
So
doctor's clinic and they have the lady ask you, like, have you been experiencing any symptoms? They're like, now lift up your shirt.
right,
Oh, it's just
right.
shivs. It's just shivs.
Oh,
He
just
got shivved 8
shivs. It's
times.
just shivs.
At
Shivs kind of
32
sounds like an
shivs,
old timey pirate disease. Also, he's got shivs. He'll
he's
kick
got
it in a
shivs.
week, but
Oh my god, it
he
does,
needs to
yeah.
drink as much he needs as
Skivvy,
much beer as
scurvy.
possible. All right, I gotta read this. I gotta read this.
We gotta get
I
through
need
it.
to.
I know, I can't.
There's
I'm
so
so
much
sorry.
that yeah. No, it's okay, but they were done. They were tired. They were cold. Oh my God! Wait, sorry. 4 of the escapees were captured after knocking on a homeowner's door early Monday. They knocked on a homeowner's door. What? Okay, so they were done. They were tired. They were cold. Bohm said during a conference they basically gave up. The other 5 teens stole a vehicle, and 4 were captured after a pursuit with police a short time later. Bohm said the remaining team took off running into a field and was captured shortly after. He added the escapees had earlier attempted to break into a car around midnight to 1 a.m. Bohm said in an early Monday update. I don't know what alerted the homeowners, but they broke the window of the car, lights came on, and then they took off, he said. All 9 of the teens were captured within about 4 miles of the detention center, and none were actively resisting arrest, Bohm said. They will all be charged with escape, riot, and aggravated and simple assault, and some will be charged with theft by unlawful taking, according to a news release released by Berks
I mean,
County
okay,
District
what
Attorney.
other kind of theft is there? Like theft by unlawful taking? Isn't theft unlawful taking of objects?
That's literally the objective,
Yeah,
simplest terms you could put it in.
we're charging them by theft by theft.
Theft by
We're charging them with theft by theft.
About 60 people, including state and local police, worked overnight to find the escapees. Police also employed canines and drones. That just sounds like a pissed off parent. Do you know that about 60 people, including state and local police, worked overnight to find y'all? You know what I mean? This seems petty.
That is really funny. That is literally exactly what it is. See, at this point, it's just not fair because if those kids would have been ready for it, they would have traded BJ's for extra pudding cups for like 3 days beforehand and like really masked up, bulk up. You've got 4 days no eating where you can keep
They
hauling butt. They didn't think this
they
through.
kind of fucked themselves, man. That says they were weary and dirty when they returned to custody. He noted the woods where they escaped are a far cry from the city of Harrisburg, where at least 7 of the teens are from. The escape that prompted the overnight search for the teens was a coordinated effort. Boehm said they were able to get the keys, and then they were able to get out the side door or one of the doors. The team likely got through the fence of the facility by going under it. He added, they were
I mean,
working in
they
cahoots with
make
each
that
other
sound
to
like this is the
accomplish the
great
goal.
escape, but it's like steal
Yeah,
the
it's
keys
just
and
like
open 2 doors.
go underneath the fence. It's like
Go underneath
very
the fence.
very.
I was
Fuck
surprised when
these
they
teens.
decided to
Fuck
go
this
either
police.
under.
How?
Well, it's just like, what are they going to do? They're going to go under
I
the
mean,
fence or over the fence?
It's Alabama. You know what
I
the
was
fuck do you want?
surprised that they took under instead of over the fence.
Well, I thought maybe if they ran hard enough, they could just go through the fence. But I was experiencing a little bit of scaredness that they'd get sliced up like a block of Swiss cheese.
Like a block of Swiss cheese. I thought they was going to materially disintegrate these particles and pass through the fence with no harm. In fact, I thought they was going to astrally project themselves back into Harrisburg. They just
Wouldn't it be
missing
cool
home.
if at the last second one of them was like Spider-Man and they had like a little web that they could just shoot themselves up, and then they could like hook themselves with the web? I don't know. I don't want to do this bit anymore.
I was pretty sure that all 9 of them was going to combine like a Power Rangers type of situation where they was going to become one big meat man, and they was just going to step over the fence, and then they was going to go on a rampage. And that's why I was so scared about it, is that they was going to do a Power Rangers move. But they did.
I was worried about the Meat Man because I had seen that once before, and I said, not here, not in Harrisburg. Meat Man's going to run city on Harrisburg, not the good
run
way.
city on Harrisburg, not in my town. My nephew watched Attack on Titans. It's an animated film, and it freaked me out. That's a big meat man.
Children's.
I thought they was going to take all these arms and legs and leave the bodies behind and just make an arms and legs spider and just do whatever they did after that. I mean, spiders? Ew,
78-year-old allegedly shoots, kills neighbor who was trimming trees along their property lines. 78-year-old allegedly shoots, kills neighbor who was trimming trees along their property lines.
You just can't.
I just had to get us out of that.
You can't. Thank you for getting us out of that. I literally was not gonna stop. I would have done that for another 10 minutes.
No, I know. Well, okay, listen. I did want to. Can you give the good folks at home really quick though? Your you went on a great escape before we move on to the 78-year-old that shot somebody for trimming the trees on the property lines. You had a great escape when we were about 15. We had only been friends for about maybe 3, 4, 5 months, and this was a thing that you've been planning for a while. You asked me to come with you on it, and I wasn't able to do it. I didn't have the capacity at that time. Shit was not right for me. But you and about 4 of your friends made a great escape. You left a note, and I just want to give you, this is an alley oop rather. Please take the field here.
So, deeply religious parents, troubled household, a lot of interpersonal conflicts in the house, trouble with my brother, trouble with my parents, it was a troubled time. I think, was it this point, had I broken my arm? Was I juicing?
You broken your arm at this point.
So I was juicing on the Opies. I was juicing on the
Opies. You were hard on the Opies.
What I thought I was going to do. So
you were Project Ops.
Bottles. I was Project Ops, baby. Oh, Opies, Ops, yeah. And so, me and my buddy, Sonny, we both were in like really religious households.
Shout out Scone Heist.
Arrow's, yeah, what's up, Scone Heist? And Arrow was he had like 9 brothers and sisters, so he just lived in a literal circus. So like nobody can blame him.
Yeah.
He could have gone on a shooting spree and people would have
Arrow's life could be a TLC show.
It literally
Arrow's life could literally be broadcasted on Mondays and Wednesdays, and it could do quite well.
So, I mean, we had Derek was going to join us too. He had helped plan the whole project. We had a whole route plan to the Baja Peninsula. We had instruments. We were going to busk our way down there. Arrow was a drummer. Here was the clinch point, the hinge point that really fell apart.
I never realized you were trying to go to the Baja.
We were going to Baja. So I had about $20 cash. Errol had like $2,000 saved up from doing like AmeriCorps. Which, by the way, is just, if you're going to send your kid to AmeriCorps, it's child slavery. That's what it is. AmeriCorps is child slavery.
I almost did AmeriCorps. But it basically is just young person slavery. Yeah.
It's literally working 16 hours a day, 7 days a week for like 2 months, and they pay you like the equivalent of like $2.50 an hour. It's insane.
But you can like get college credit and be like, hey, I did AmeriCorps, and then most people don't know what that is, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, most people are like, oh, you were a child slave? That does not look that good on a resume.
Dude, I almost did AmeriCorps hard style.
You're applying to be another child slave. You kind of like it kind of got your rocks off. Oh, you've got a child slavery. You did AmeriCorps. Oh my gosh, that is such good work experience for here. So here, you're gonna build iPhones.
Do you have any scar tissue on your hands, particularly your knuckles? Because we could really use someone that has scar tissue on their hands.
You're doing child fighting.
But good dexterity, scar tissue, but good dexterity.
Dexterity. Can't be any broken bones, but a lot of scar tissue is great. Yeah, and we can help you with that. We have a program to help you. By the knuckles.
We have a program. We have the scrape shredder. Okay, so you were trying to go to the Baja. You had $20.
$20. Errol had $2,000, and we were like, okay, $2,000. I brought a bunch of stuff I was gonna sell. I had all my Xbox games. I had all my PC games. I had a bunch of knives and antiques and stuff in my backpack. All the food we had was 2 things of blueberry bagels and 1 thing of cream cheese. That was what we brought for food. No, I had 15, some other stuff.
16.
Yeah, I was like 15. But here's the deal.
You were like, this will get us the first week.
This will get us the first week. So we meet up with Errol and we get on the ferry and we go over to Edmonds at like 4:30 a.m. the first boat. And when we're getting off the boat, Errol's like, okay, we just gotta stop by my bank. And I was like, wait, you don't have the money? And he's like, oh, no, it's in my bank. And I'm like, Errol, we just ran away from home. Like, they're going to call the police and call all the banks, and, like, they're going to be watching the bank. We can't get the money. Like, we're going to walk into the bank, and, like, they're going to sting us. We're going to get stung.
Was he 18 or was he younger?
He was like 16.
Okay. Okay, I see, yeah.
Yeah,
because I think that's reasonable to have the money in the bank.
I mean, it is.
But I see what
you're
you're
running
saying
away
too.
from
I see
home.
what you're saying.
Like,
yeah,
we can't. We have to get it the day before we go on the trip, not the day after we run away from home.
Sure,
you know, that's pretty key.
But I thought it was like that morning of it, like 4 a.m. But anyway, go ahead.
It was the morning of, but we still had to get to the bank, so we had to take public transportation to go get over there. And so I'm like, okay, well, I don't think the bank is safe. He's like, I'm gonna go do it. I think it's gonna be fine. I go and try and sell all my stuff. I go to this pawn shop. And the guy's literally like, you just run away from home? Like, dead eyes me. He says, you run away from home, huh? And I'm like, he's like, this has to be every single video game you've ever owned in your life. And like all of your parents' antiques or something. Like, what's going on here? You're running away from home. And I finally was like, listen, guy, okay, fine. I said no like 10 times. And then finally was like, yeah, but here's the deal. You're either going to sell me this stuff, or you're either going to buy this stuff and I'm going to have some money, or I'm going to keep going without any money. And he's like, I'll give you like $20 for everything. It's all bullshit. It's all dog shit. I've got like nice antique knives, like a pocket watch. I've got all this stuff. And he's like, I'll give you $20. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go. And he's like, okay, I'm going to call the police just so you know. He like literally like was like, you're leaving. I'm gonna just let you know I'm gonna call the police. So we're like, okay, we can't get any money from that. Errol goes to the bank. They won't give him the money without approval from a parent first. So, and then we're like, okay, so we have $20 cash. We're eating bagels. We're eating bagels in an alleyway. It stinks like garbage. We don't have enough money to take a bus anywhere.
God damn. That's a good bank. That's a pretty good bank.
That's a pretty good bank. That's a bank you want your kids to
don't let your 16-year-old withdraw $2,000.
Yeah, he's either gonna buy drugs or run away.
Right.
Or maybe buy a car. The shop kids do that.
The shop clerk, weird, good, bad. He did take all your stuff. He cleaned you out, but then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna call the police." By the way, like, so he could have just kind of helped a brother out. Like, I don't know.
Well, the thing is, if he would have helped a brother out, we wouldn't have gone home.
Yeah.
So and I wish we wouldn't have gone home. So I just have to say, so there's a couple more things. So 3 people in the 6 hours that morning before we wound up taking the ferry back, we were gone for like 18 hours. That's how long we were gone for. This was literally, it's the story of the 9 escapees. So 3 people just like dead named us as runaways. The bus driver was literally like, oh, you guys running away from home, huh? Literally just said it as
Wait,
we walked
right
on
when
the
you just
bus.
got on.
Yep, right when we got on the bus. Literally just said, "Oh, you guys are
Wait,
running away from home, huh?"
wait, were you in Seattle or Edmonds?
In Edmonds.
Okay. Because I was
And
Edmonds. Wow, a bus driver has so much to deal with. He's really gonna call you out like that?
it was wild. It was wild. And then we wound up chatting with him. He was like, "Hey, I mean, it's a little weird. I don't say anything, but hey, I'll take you where you're going." And then
Oh shit. Okay, bus driver with me. Hell yeah.
a third lady in Seattle was like, "You guys are running away from home, aren't you?" So in like 6 hours, 3 people were just literally like, "You guys are running away from home." The bus driver was chill. The clerk wasn't, and the lady was like, "Here's the deal. I'm gonna stay with you right now. You need to call your parents." And we were like,
Wait,
"The
really?
thing is, yeah." And we're like, "No, lady, we're not giving up yet. We're not giving up yet." And she's like, "What's your situation?" And we broke it down for her, and we heard ourselves say the story. And the story was, we have 2 bagels left. We have $20. Our goal is to make it to the Baja Peninsula. We have nothing that we can sell other than our bodies. We should probably go home.
Which we've considered.
Which we've
Okay,
considered.
really. What the last thing I want you to mention, if that was it, you were planning on saying, I need you
Oh,
to
the
talk about.
pigeon. The pigeon.
I need you.
The pigeon. So we're out in Pioneer Square, just looking to get domed.
In Seattle.
We're in Seattle in Pioneer Square, and we're feeding some pigeons, trying to figure out what we're gonna do because things are looking dire. We're pretty hopeless.
Brainstorming session, but you're still feeding the pigeons because you're kind-hearted young
Brainstorming
lads.
session. We're feeding the pigeons, and there's this one pigeon. That's a pretty big pigeon, and every time you feed it'll go and it'll like puff up super big, and it'll try and act kind of like Honcho. And so I saw that a couple times, and I threw him a thing, and I'd look over at the pigeon and I say, "Puff up, bitch." About 4 feet to the left of the pigeon was a 280-pound black woman. About 4 feet to the left of the 280-pound black woman was a very different type of 280-pound black man. Black woman, weight in the belly. Black man, weight in the shoulders and chest. Weight in the shoulders and chest. Weight in the shoulders and chest. I say,
wrong
puff
place,
up,
wrong
bitch.
time.
The woman turns and looks to me and says, "What the fuck did you just say to me?" Mind you, I'm a 110-pound, 15-year-old white nerd. Sonny
You
is
literally
big.
have black thick rim glasses.
I have black thick rim Harry Potter glasses. I have $20 to my name and 2 bagels left. And the guy turns to her and he says, "Rhonda, are they giving you trouble?" And for about 10 seconds, I thought we were gonna die. But we all just said, "Oh God, no. We just are talking to the pigeon, and we just got our stuff. They basically just mean mugged us. We just grabbed our bagels and we just left. There was no resolution to it. It was just fear and running. Fear and running. And maybe that's kind of why we were trying to brainstorm how to go. And after that, we were like, let's go home. Let's go home. This is more dangerous than we thought.
It's a really, you don't know what could.
A pigeon, and I almost died. So, I don't know. It was a good story. I got grounded for 4 months. It actually was a turning point. Because I got grounded and then I just was like, "Nah, I'm not grounded. I'm gonna do whatever I want." And then about 3 months into that, my parents came to me and they said, "We give up. We care still, but we can't try and fix you. You're broke beyond repair."
You broke your own parents. I remember that.
Parents, and that wasn't even really the goal. I just wanted them to kind of. I guess that technically was the goal. Have them let me do whatever I wanted. But it was a lot sadder than I thought it was gonna be.
Right. It's just funny. You're like, yeah, you guys make me go to church, and you guys are like hypocrites a lot of the time, and it's fucking shitty. God.
Yeah, it's some very 16-year-old stuff. It's tough because the thing is, I was a complete idiot, but I also was really smart at the same time, and that's where it's tricky because I had good reason to trust myself with some decision making. Yeah. I shouldn't have been forced to be a part of that church anymore. I shouldn't have been forced to endure the weird stuff they were going through and micromanage that and be a mediator there. But I also was not ready to make life decisions for myself.
Right. But you knew the church is not a good thing. I can ascertain that amount that amount of knowledge at least.
And that I do not fit here, and that there's a better way to feel good about being alive. Don't know what it is
What was
yet.
so, what was so bad about the church though? Because like everybody at a Mormon church seems really nice. They're just really judgy.
They're really judgy, and like what starts to get to you is when they're like, based on all of the scientific knowledge that humanity has like cultivated over the last 200 years, we're gonna not use any of that and make some statements from a book that a guy made looking through a piece of rock that he called Urim and Thummim, and then wrote with no one else ever saw the golden plates, right? The golden plates, no one could see them. It would have
Yeah,
deholied them if somebody saw them. So nobody ever saw the golden plates, and he wrote the entire Book of Mormon looking at the golden plates through a rock. I don't know if you guys have checked the opacity levels on rocks, but you can't see through them.
there's some that are a little bit more opaque than others, but even that is a far cry to
Even
having
that is
any
a
sort
far
of
cry
vision.
to a magnifying glass or a pair of glasses. So I mean, they believed that dinosaurs were were a lie, and they were put there to test everyone's faith. They believe that
Wait, the
I
Mormons are against dinosaurs?
Mormons are against dinosaurs.
Wait, okay, I knew that Mormons like there's different levels, but there's Mormons that are against dinosaurs. That's really fucking funny.
Yeah, yeah, and that's
You've
when
got
you
like
get to
kids
that
playing with a
level.
brontosaurus, and then you're like, oh no, we don't associate with them. Is that a stegosaurus in your hand, Timmy?
Is that a stegosaurus in your hand? Yeah, no. It's kind
Oh
of
my
like
god, what the fuck?
conservative Christians against like wizardry. And it's like when you're a kid,
Okay,
you're
but
like, "Ooh, a magic
that's even
spell."
funnier, man. Because when you're a kid, like that's I don't know why that's part of the curriculum when you're 5, but the curriculum is very much like, hey, dinosaurs.
Oh yeah,
They're
no.
not very
You're a
relevant, but
if
you're
you're a
gonna learn quite a bit about them.
well, it's like real dragons. It's like real dragons. But no, if you're
Yeah.
a
Wait,
boy,
why?
it's like,
What is the focus on dinosaurs? Yeah. What is that? Go ahead.
well, they believe the Book of Mormon and the Bible. I mean, they basically state that the world is about 6,000 years old. So like
Okay. But it's actually like 4
traditional
billion years old.
knowledge
Right.
until, and one of the reasons that all this stuff was so hard to put, like there was an enormous about like plate tectonics theory, dinosaurs, fossils, all of this stuff in Europe was basically like massively suppressed for so long because religion was like, for a while they were literally like, if you keep talking about dinosaurs, we will fucking kill your family.
I don't want to hear no motherfucking velociraptors. I don't want to hear nothing about a
Do
pterodactyl.
you
I will
understand?
Terra kill you.
I will
I
Terra
will
kill
Terra
you.
your head off.
Yeah. I will Terra redact that statement.
There we go. There we go. Wait,
No, they're like,
but
it's giants. Don't worry, it's giants. That was Goliath. Remember, everybody used to be giants. Everybody used to live 9,000 years. Like it's. But now there's all these modifications that they do to kind of like make it.
God damn it.
So a lot of what they do now is they're like, well, we
That's
don't know
so
that
funny. The world has changed
God's
so
year
much.
is as long as a human year is. So now they're like, well, even though it's 6,000 years, maybe the 7 days that creation happened was actually like 3 billion years. And that worked for a while, but then you start getting into like the creation of the universe and like the Big Bang, and all of a sudden it gets really, really hard to kind of mix
Right.
and match.
All those things and commingle them that's harmonious and actually is logical.
Yeah, I think the fairest argument on their behalf is probably that the Bible is a human book at this point that's been modified so much, and so if you just
No.
kind of argue like, we messed up some
It's about the
stuff.
principles, right? It's about the principles.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
the granular because it's been translated and changed and it's a game of telephone and yeah, exactly.
yeah, I think there's some cool. Oh, we've got a couple commies. We got Loto FBGV. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Um,
I've got a news story here that fits very well too. That we're gonna hop on
okay,
into here
just
for a second.
in 10 seconds. John Hollow Jest says Logan will never be a Mormon. Logan is one of my friend's kids, and he like literally has like 600 dinosaur toys. He has dinosaur puppets, live action dinosaurs. It's like you'll never get him. He is impervious to religious
Right.
belief. There is no shot. There's like a screening test. They're like, does your kid love dinosaurs this much
Right.
or this much?
Right,
That's not a
right.
good Christian. Not a good Christian man.
That's just so fucking insane that dinosaurs used to be like the bad, like the rebellious thing. Like, could you
Yeah.
imagine like a paleontologist getting like a bunch of fucking pussy? Because he's like the bad rebel boy. He's like, I'm gonna find them. They're out there. I'm gonna keep digging because that's what I do.
No, that's what it was like. So there was all
I'm
these
gonna find you,
Playboy.
Brachiosaurus.
There were these Playboy, like these really wealthy sons of like noblemen. They were like, kind of, my
No,
dad's
no,
running the
no.
business.
Are
All
you
this stuff is
serious,
super
dude?
chill. Yeah, yeah, 100%. So, and they just
There were
literally were
hot
like,
shot paleontologists actually.
hotshot paleontologists. Actually, that was the
Are
entire
you
field. There
serious?
was a huge club in Europe, and it expanded out, and it was like in the UK. It was all down in, it was in Spain. It was everywhere, and it was these clubs of extremely wealthy young men that would go and search for dinosaur bones. Like, it was
And it was like on the
literally,
down low because this was like some really, really like not
yeah,
very forbidden shit.
like
It was
legitimately
very
killing
forbidden.
people
Jesus
over it.
Christ. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
yeah. No,
This
and
is
then,
fucking me up.
isn't that
Dinosaurs
crazy?
really okay, so dinosaurs are like one of the because people still think dinosaurs are cool, right? Like adults, children. So dinosaurs are like one of the longest trending things. That's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. Cultural revolution literally caused a cultural
We,
revolution. The two
we
things,
really marvel at
dinosaurs,
beasts.
dinosaurs and tectonics and the formation of mountains are kind of the two things that like really messed things up
So
for about
people
300
people
years.
were like, no, no, God made all the mountains. The mountains were all from giant
Exactly.
footprints, or what?
And then they found seashells on a mountaintop and everyone was like, oh, okay, well, this just got really
God
fucked
had
up.
water here at one time. At one point, God was like, I
Well, no,
want
they
water here,
said
and then he said, I don't want water here no more.
they made a good move. They said, remember the flood, guys? Remember the flood?
Remember that flood?
And
You
that
didn't
worked
think
for a
about the
while.
flood there, did you? Because that would be a problem.
That would be a problem.
Okay, before we get too far away, I picked the story, and I'm glad we could dive into it. 20-year-old Latter-day Saint sister missionary from Seattle area dies in Philippines. So
Oh.
Sister Taylor Aaron Ma, 20 of Snoqualmie, Washington, died Sunday, September 17th, in a hospital in the Philippines after an undetermined illness. She had been serving as a missionary in the Philippines Angelus Mission for the Church of Latter-day Saints since June 2022. So,
Oh.
one of the things I wanted you to talk about was the missions, but let me
That's
see
a
here.
sad one. You know, whenever you see undetermined illness, you kind of get the feeling they didn't try that hard.
Right. There was like,
You know,
she's
she's not
already
doing so
spoiled.
hot. She's not doing so hot.
Yeah.
Oh, she's dead now.
Sister Ma had been serving as a missionary in the Philippines Angelus mission since June 2022. We express our love and sincere condolences to Sister Ma's family, friends, and the missionaries she was serving alongside. We pray that they will feel the peace and comfort of the Savior as they mourn her passing and honor her faithful missionary service. The
So,
Church of Jesus Christ has more than 69,000 missionaries serving in 414 missions across 116 nations. What say UTT?
so just the sister missionaries are some of the sweetest people I've ever met. It's sad, and that's the thing. I did, it's not that I hated the people in church. I just hated the concept of church, and I hated that they literally were like, no science in here. Sorry, no science in here. That's like, it's
Yeah,
just too
because
much.
you loved science fiction and you loved just thinking and prosing and expanding, and that kind of makes sense. So even though it's a nice community and it's like good, like etiquette and shit, there's some fundamentals that they're Hippocratic
They
or
just don't promote free
not
thinking.
Hippocratic, but
They just don't promote free thinking.
hypocritical. Yeah,
Hypocritical, yeah. They don't, and
hypocritical, and
then
they don't promote
there's
science.
just a lot of judgment of people that are kind of free thinking and have different opinions, and it's like, this is gross. Like, people are different, guys. You can't just turn everyone into like a cookie cutter like Brian. Like, I don't want all my friends to just be named Brian, you know?
Right.
So
Right.
I'm yeah, so I'm not gonna stay here. But yeah, the sister
That's a
missionaries,
real,
actually
that's a really funny way to put it, honestly.
thank you.
I just
So
don't want
they
all my friends to be named Brian.
sister
It's good.
missionaries, sister
That's good,
missionary.
bro.
So the sister missionaries actually just sent me a message after 3 years. They swing by every once in a while, and I actually talk to them. But I'm gonna read. Um, So they said, "Hi, Brother Smiley. This is the Sister Missionaries. How are you doing today? We are pretty new to the area and would love to get to know you more. Is there a time we could share a message or do some service for you?" And I like to get real with them. I like to get real with them.
Are the sister missionaries trying to fuck you, bro? Do some service.
What kind of
that
service?
sounds like the behave in XX and X video. The fuck's
I'm
going on?
Talking about a little lap service here. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, lip service. What's good?
So I said, or lip service, lap service or lip service. Isn't lap service
Either
a thing
one
too? Is that not a thing? Did I just make that up?
You can make it a thing with them. They're willing to service you. I don't know how innovative they are based on the comments you said earlier, but you're persuasive. So, I'm very curious though. What's this message about, though? I'm very curious.
So I said, "Hello, sister missionaries. I appreciate you reaching out, but I have heard the message and attended church for a long time. My path has led me to creating an understanding of the world, purpose, and peace without God in my life. Although it may sound bleak to you, I found great peace and love in communing with nature and creating strong relationships with others. I find my light in music, art, love, and community. I appreciate the good you bring to the world, but I'm not interested in the message of the LDS Church. Best of luck." And 3 years later, they responded, "Hi, Tyler. This is the Sister Missionaries. We wanted to reach out and see how you were doing and if there was anything we could do for you." And I copied and pasted the same message and just sent it back to them, and they didn't respond.
Yeah.
So it didn't go anywhere. They didn't respond to my message, which was kind of a bummer. It's
right.
Like, the only time they're really going to engage is if they're like, "Ooh, we got one on the line." Like literally they're hunting for people who are dealing with tragedies in their life. Like they're literally hunting for people who are like, I could either start drinking a lot, get on an SSRI, kill myself, or
stop drinking coffee and wear weird underwear.
Stop drinking coffee and wear weird underwear. I'm going to have to break the fourth wall here for a second, guys, to check this. And we are good. Zimcolo! Wait, when did you all decide to show your true apparition form?
Yo, we're ghosts, baby. Oh shit. Wait, yeah. I'm trying to get out. There we go. This is us as an apparition. I think this is doing a pretty good job. This is kind of spooky. I feel fucking like I'm haunt worthy. I could haunt.
You're haunting. Yeah, you're haunting.
I'm haunting. I'm fucking haunting, bro.
Haunting, the term hauntingly beautiful. I like it. I like that. Hauntingly
beautiful. I like that. That's for somebody who's like weird and like gaunt and pallid, but like beautiful. Hauntingly beautiful. You know?
There's a couple of people that we've grown up with that I've seen and gone hauntingly beautiful.
Really quick though, before we get off this Mormon church thing, if you could have gone to a mission, can you like tell me about the mission thing? Like
Madagascar.
Where would you have
gone to Madagascar?
Okay, do you have a choice? Was that like a real option on the table?
No, you do not get a choice.
You don't get a choice. Okay, how does it work?
So you sign up to do a mission. They basically do like
choice, by the way. Madagascar is a dope one. I would have gone there too. I'll tell you.
Right? Yes, absolutely.
It's a big hell yeah. Yes.
So you sign up. They do a whole background check. They talk to like all your friends. They talk to your school. They talk to the people that you work with.
Really?
They talk to everyone. Oh yeah. They ain't sending people that are smoking cigarettes out on a mission.
They're sending the biggest and brightest. But they don't force you then. I thought they forced you.
Oh, they culturally force the hell out of you. That's how the church works with everything. They don't force you to do anything, but they culturally force you to do everything. So they're not going to. There are some things they'll kick you out for. Infidelity, if you don't like start going to counseling super hard. Divorce, they're pretty hard on, although they've gotten a lot better about it since like a lot of people get divorced now. They're like, I guess we can't lose all of our members. Infidelity, divorce, like excessive drug use, domestic abuse. Although I think domestic abuse is one that they're kind of like, let's not talk about that one.
They'll kick you out? Mm-hmm. They'll be like, you can't church here no more?
Yeah, it's called excommunication. They'll excommunicate you.
Jesus Christ. These guys are like fucking bots.
It's like a mafia.
They're like, nice. True. Turning back.
Excommunication.
We do not associate. What the fuck?
Excommunication. Yeah.
But aren't there a bunch of people that do that shit and then they just don't get excommunicated?
Yeah. It depends on
So
who
they're
you
just part
know.
of the church royalty. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It depends on who you know.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, I think maybe they've laxed up a lot, but like, I mean, rewind like 50 years, rewind 100 years. Like, all these churches today are like, we can either be different churches or not be churches. Those are our two choices. Like, I mean, you
Sure.
go to
Right.
Catholic churches now, and there's like trans rights, and there's rainbow flags everywhere, and there's like, I mean, they're going all on BLM. Like, they really have
True.
adjusted. When like 20 years ago, all these churches were staunch
Every
conservative
church
organizations.
loves trans people a lot, and they want people to know that. I'm
Well,
seeing
I
a
mean,
lot
I
of
think
trans flags
I
outside of
think they're
churches.
responding. I think they're responding to huge losses in viewership and in attendance. Like,
Right.
I
And
think
it's not just the trans people, it's everybody that supports the trans rights in this
well,
particular
exactly. It's
moment.
literally
Yeah.
just, and that's how the whole thing. That's like, you know, if you're a church in, okay, no, I'm not going to say that. Never mind. Whew, that was
I'm gonna
close.
speak. I'm gonna talk about something that's a lot more safe to talk about.
That
So
was
I'm gonna.
really close. Jeff, I need you to know that was so close.
We got really close. It was totally unprovoked. Woman drags 13-year-old to the floor in vicious random attack in Los Angeles McDonald's while onlookers just stand by and film. That kind of makes sense. A 13-year-old California girl's school year is not starting out as she planned. Fuck you, Yahoo News, Nicole Duncan Smith.
Okay, that
Fuck
that
you,
was
Yahoo News, Nicole Duncan Smith. After leaving school, she and her friend stopped by a local McDonald's in LA's Harbor City, where she was assaulted by an adult woman whom she had never met. Cassidy Jones said the woman, who has not been identified, attacked her after she stopped by the restaurant to refresh herself before she went home.
Okay, what kind of
Police are
language is
looking for the
that?
suspect.
She stopped by. Who stops by
Yeah,
McDonald's to refresh
to
themselves before
refresh
going
herself.
home?
No, I know
It's
that
the
I was kind of like
opposite. Going to
starting.
McDonald's is the opposite of refreshing
Right.
yourself.
No, it's gonna make you feel like shit.
Yeah.
Dude, okay. Real quick, anybody that's listening to this right now or in posterity, folks, does a McDonald's hash brown in the morning ever make you feel greasy on your scalp? Because it makes me feel greasy on my skin and scalp. It like a McDonald's hash browns like affect my spinal cord somehow. I literally don't know how. It's ever since I was a kid. I enjoy them, but I can't eat them because they literally like fuck with my being.
I've got to say, I handle potatoes and oil extremely well. My body,
Do
whatever is
you?
going on in my body, I handle
No,
potatoes and
I
oil very well.
typically do. Well, actually, there's some times where oil and eat too many chips and nachos or eat too many fries.
Drop
That'll be a
me
bad time.
drop me in the potato famine. Drop me in Ireland, and I don't know what dates they were just eating potatoes, but drop me in Irish potato times, and I'm doing
Yeah,
all
you'd
right.
be you'd
I've
be
got
sitting
my
pretty.
vodka. I've got
Yeah,
vodka,
right.
and I've got
You. Oh my
potatoes.
god. Oh my god. And everybody's depressed, so they need art. So
Yeah,
you were really born in such a tragic era, man. You could have
yeah.
fucking been
I could have
huge.
been the potato bard. I could have been the
You
drunken
could
potato
you
bard.
could have. God damn it.
And my move
I
was, I
love.
always gave tiny potatoes to the children. I saved all my tiny potatoes and I gave them to the children.
Right. Yes, of course. Because you're like Robin Hood. I love that there's just fucking Cassidy
I
Jones right
know
here,
this
and,
is
and
it's
it's
kind
just
of a sad backdrop. It's kind of a sad backdrop. So it sounds like she
they
didn't do
got some
anything wrong.
food. It sounds like she was just refreshing herself. How old is she? 13? I guess it's kind of hard when she's all literally lumped up. Like she looks like a
Yeah,
fucking. She looks
I.
like she got plastic surgery 6 minutes ago.
It turns out when a
Like I
kid
don't.
turns 6, I can't tell how old
How
they
old
are
they
until
are?
they're about 14. Between 6 and
She
14, I just have to throw a dart. I have no idea.
After she left the bathroom, the stranger leaped on her, claiming that the girl and her friends were looking at her aggressively. What the F are you looking at? Fight, kids, I'll fight you, the woman allegedly said. But Cassie maintains it was totally unprovoked, adding, I don't know her. I didn't say anything to her. Bystanders recorded the minor getting beaten down. As the woman beat Cassidy repeatedly in the face, people just pulled out their phones and recorded the incident without helping. They're looking and they're videotaping her just getting beaten up, and no one tried to stop it. The employees, the customers, you don't just sit there and watch someone get beat by another person. How can you sleep at night? Said Angelina Gray, Cassie's mother. The teen tried to defend herself, but to no avail. The woman was much larger and had her pinned to the ground. Screaming and crying, no one intervened except the man, who seemed to be with the woman. He pulled the woman off, and it was captured in a clip walking away from her. Is captured walking away from her in a clip. Cassidy was asked what she was thinking as the lady was pummeling her to the ground. I was focused on protecting myself because I knew the moment I put my hands down was the moment I was probably going to get beat to death, the girl said, adding that she was shocked because she didn't do anything to instigate that. That's smart.
That's kind of the tough
That's
thing
very
here. Is
smart.
it's like, you know, a lot of times you don't, but like sometimes, like if somebody starts bashing your head into, you know, tile floors, like these McDonald's floors, they're tile floors. Like it's probably concrete underneath. Like it ain't gonna do you no good getting blasted into a concrete floor.
Cassidy has one thought about the woman at this time. Personally, I think she needs to go to jail, he said. I think that's a fair statement to share. God damn, dude. I fight kids. Who says I fight kids like that?
You definitely don't. If you're gonna fight a kid, you definitely don't want to say that right before you fight him.
Right. There's no plausible deniability after that. Because it's
afterwards you're like, how many kids have you fought? This isn't the first kid. Can we get a, you know, it's like trying to convince a serial murderer to tell you where the rest of the bodies are buried. Like you're trying to convince a kid fighter to tell you all the kids that they fought.
Exactly. Little do we know she just came from a toddler punching spree at an Arby's. It was minutes before.
Minutes before. Arby's. Rockin' babies.
Arby's.
Rockin' babies.
Rockin' babies.
I've been rocking babies domes all day. I've been ringing baby domes.
Rapid bops. Bop, bop,
Rapid
bop.
Bop, 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 bop.
Bop, 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 bop. Goddamn. Do you wanna hop into some murder statistics here? I pulled up some murder statistics.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So I want to ask, what do you think is the state with the well, here, how about this? How many murders? Okay, how about this? In 1980, there were 23,000 murders. Homicides. 23,000.
In the United States?
Yeah, in the United States. How many do you think happened in 2021?
So based on how news, like based on the vibe, I would guess like probably
1980,
37,
23,000.
I guess 31,000. I guess 31,000 today, but I have a feeling it might actually be lower, but I'm going to go with 31,000.
14,700.
Okay.
14,000.
So way less murders.
2020 was a rough one. We had 20K. 20K was a rough one.
Okay.
But we've never eclipsed 24. 2456. So I mean, in the early 90s, there was a lot of murders. Here's the problem, though. We are seeing a big drop in percentage of murders solved. In the 1980s, 72% of murders were solved. Guess how many were solved in 2021?
55%.
51. 51%.
How?
So you got folks.
How is that possible?
You have a true 50-50, a 51-49 chance in getting away with murder. 49.
Well,
51,
okay.
Yeah.
One thing to think about. In 1980, they've had 43 years to solve those murders.
Okay, that's true. That's very true. That's a good point.
So,
is it rapid? It's just yeah. That's a good point. I mean, how many murders are getting solved after the first 48 hours, though? Isn't it a thing? Or is that just has the TLC channel just fucking programmed me to believe that that's a real thing?
I mean, it seems like a real thing, but apparently it's not, because they had 71 from 1980. So, yeah, I had a feeling the murder was going to actually be lower. It's just so funny how
Things are getting better, actually. And we've got more people. We've got more people
all the time. Well, that's not a per capita. Good point. That's not a per capita. That's
it's not per capita.
Oh, we got more people,
Interesting.
less kills.
We have more people, less kills. But states with the highest murder rates are Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, Missouri, and Arkansas. So don't go to the South, folks.
Washington, D.C. Right? Come on. Did D.C. didn't make it on there?
I don't know. Let's see. Most murders per state. Let's see. That's just one list.
I feel like Michigan takes the cake.
And that's the murder rate, by the way, not the actual murders. That's like adjusted per population.
Good. That should be.
Yeah, because obviously like California, Texas. Well, so here's funny: California, Texas, number 1, number 2, number 3, Illinois, and that's all coming from Chicago. That's not what you want. Let's see here in Chicago. We're gonna go Chicago stats right here. Chicago averages 595 murders per year. 64% of murders go unsolved in Chicago.
Wow. So that's that's the one thing. I mean, I was just thinking, I had not a real road rage thing, but there was like a thing, a guy passed me in a pretty dangerous spot, and I laid on the horn. Yeah, I laid on the horn on him.
Wait, when?
Like 2 days ago, a day ago.
Right. So we just did the exact same thing?
Yeah. I laid on the horn. It didn't turn into a whole thing, but I laid on the horn for a while on it. And then I just realized, I just thought about it, and I was like, because I was driving out to our property, so it's like, it's kind of boonies out there. There's not a lot of cameras out there, I don't think. There's not a lot of traffic cameras.
Right.
It's pretty chillin'. Like, what a great spot. Like, as long as there's not a bunch of people on the road, you just blast me like 6 times. I veer off the road. You drive for a while, turn around, drive back, you just kind of drive away at the wrong time. You stay somewhere for a little bit, you park, or even better yet, you just go to the crash and are like, oh my gosh, there's something bad happened.
No, you don't do that. You don't do that. You don't do that.
You don't think so?
No, that's how you get caught.
That's how you get caught?
Calling in your own crime.
I don't.
You think that's how? Remember, that's when my mom went crazy, calling in her own crime. She broke into our neighbor's house and then was coming out of our neighbor's house, and one neighbor was spotting her, and she got nervous and she called the cops on herself and said that somebody broke in.
But it wasn't the plan.
You don't call and fabricate a story.
You don't call. I mean, all you do is you just say, I was just driving and I found this car like this. Is this the kind of the Brotherwife equivalent of like rapping about how you killed someone?
Yeah.
You don't podcast about. You don't
podcast. Yeah. It was Beaver Valley Road, September 16th, around 11:15 a.m. I killed him in the streets. He wasn't ready for the heat. I popped him 6 times in the passenger seat. His baby mama dead.
Can you imagine? We just start writing raps about.
That's my Beaver Valley cred.
Because the thing is, we already talk about all these murders and stuff. Like,
right.
We just start every show. We produce one hip hop song about how the person was killed.
Okay, that's actually pretty funny. So like, we write other people's drill rap. We write drill rap. We write drill rap for headlines. That's
my god,
pretty funny, actually.
We write drill rap so you don't have to get caught. That's really funny.
We take the heat. We're a Brotherwife heat exchanger. Yeah.
We write drill raps so you don't have to.
So you don't have to
get caught.
Right, and then so we write drill rap from the perspective of, and we always punch up. So we have a chance of going viral. Like we write drill rap from the perspective of the little toddler girl or the 13-year-old girl. You're like, I was coming out the bathroom, just finna refresh, when this bitch jumped on me, started smashing my head. It was in the Fredericksburg McDonald's lobby. Bitch was fucking beating me. She said I beat kids as a hobby. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? What's up?
Yeah. I hit the Mickey D's just trying for a refresh. Hit the bathroom stall, then I got hit. I hit the Mickey D's, but thought I'd be getting hit. But thought I'd be getting hit less than I was, because she hit me a lot.
Right, she hit me a gratuitous amount, and I was not.
You did a really good job. I shouldn't have even tried.
You're the freestyler. I'm not even the freestyler. You're the freestyler.
I'm the freestyler on the night brews. You know, on the morning brews, I have to pee a little bit, and that kind of throws me for a loop.
Right.
Have you ever tried freestyling?
You're literally. Also, one thing about Tyler right now is you may notice a different TT energy. He's literally in like the den of his in-laws' fucking nice house in Redmond.
Hey guys,
so he's actually like a golden little boy right now. Like he's on his best behavior spiritually.
But this is how I feel inside.
Yeah, if you're noticing a difference in TT and me, I'm just like fresh out of bed. I was like, okay, I'll sleep in a little bit. I'm sleeping in. I drive to Tyler. We've got the brew stew in a playpen in his back den. I have to get up but today I'm just I'm in my bed right now. I'm propped up against my wall here.
He's in the bed in the pilly. I like that.
Yep, I've got a pillow on the back.
You got one more. You got one more for us?
I've got one more for us. Yeah. And I'll go ahead and share my screen
here. This is gonna be a speed run on this one.
Speed run. Maine man who disappeared after driving wife to work found trapped in truck in New Hampshire woods. A man from Maine was reported missing. God damn it! I'm having a hard time reading the news today. I'm hard to write. I've got. I feel like 50 Cent. I got a mush mouth. A man from Maine was reported missing from found after being trapped for 2 days in his pickup truck in a muddy, wooded area in New Hampshire. Authorities said.
I'm gonna go. Robert Brown, 65, a sent for May, drove his wife to work about 15 miles, 24.1 kilometers away in Rochester, New Hampshire. On Thursday, Brown's wife called police early Friday and said she hadn't seen him since then. Investigators said they pinged his cell phone, but he had died.
And now I'm gonna try and do. I'm gonna try and do it as in 50 Cent. I'll style 21 questions. Okay. All right. Brown, who was found Saturday afternoon, he had been driving near Dover, New Hampshire, when his vehicle went off the road to an embankment in a wooded area and became stuck in mud behind a sandpit, trapping himself. Police said, "This is generally not accessed by people from the public." Dover Fire Department said. Patrick Simmons told WMUR TV. He said the area is normally used by city workers.
Oh no, you can
and others for dumping sand and dirt.
He said the area is normally because you got TV right there.
Okay,
told
sure, yeah, no, I get it.
TV. He said the.
I'm trying to do the 50 Cent 21 questions.
Sure. So this actually reminds me of, I used to work with a guy. I called him Old Greg for a while. Then I called him Crazy Old Greg for a while because.
Oh fuck! Can we end on Old Greg's crazy fucking stories? Jesus Christ.
We can end on Crazy Old Greg's stories. I have 60 seconds to say them, though. Crazy Old Greg fell from a trapeze 50 feet, shattered his entire spine, his skull in multiple places. He drove, he used to drive as an emergency medical. We're going to dive into Old Greg another time. He drove through a downed tree, and it literally went through his car and stabbed through his chest. In the front, out the back. He was on a back road that nobody ever drove on. That nobody ever drove on, and somebody randomly had broken into the place and saw him. They got him, and they said he would have been dead in like 60 more minutes if somebody hadn't found him. And he was literally stabbed through the chest with a sapling, like a tree like this big. He also had brain cancer, and they had to tear one of his ears completely out and part of his brain out. When I was on the job with him, he sawed off one of his own fingers.
This is what I wanted.
And sprayed blood all over these people's painted house. And then he was drunk at the time as well. This is really pretty great. He was drunk at the time, and I said, "Okay, Greg, I'm gonna drive you to the hospital now. Don't touch me." And I was like, "Okay, Greg." Like he forced me to not come with him to the hospital, and I started cleaning up the blood, and he said, "Don't clean up the blood. Leave the blood. They need to know what happened here." It's
and then as he was
we'll do a
driving
deep
out,
dive on old Greg.
as he was driving out,